Today we are marking 20 years after the inception of the ICC, and later on I shall be having discussions with Judge Richard Joseph Goldstone, who is a former South African judge, and also he is quite experienced on matters laws. So we shall be discussing matters ICC in details and just help us understand where we are right now and how we can better our situation as the world at large. But away from that, let's now talk matters mental health. Murder cases are being witnessed day in, day out, with the most recent case being of 30-year-old Ibrahim Ewoy, who reportedly killed himself after shooting his wife using a G3 rifle he stole from a police officer in Kampi Samaki, Baringo South, leaving her with serious injuries. These are among the many cases that have left the society with many unanswered questions. But what exactly leads to such extremes? Miriam Jamiu sought out the answers and files the following findings.
Suicide and murder cases are the last thing a person would want to hear, but unfortunately, this has been the wildest dreams across the globe. The most recent case being of a 30-year-old Ibrahim Ewoy from Baringo County, who lured a police officer into a drinking den and stole his gun, killing himself after shooting his wife, who sustained serious injuries. Early this year, a police officer, Abdulaziz Mohammed, charged with terrorism cases, was found hanging on the frame of his bedroom door, while mid last year, a 20-year-old Moranga student committed suicide in their Kayole home under unclear circumstances. And just the other day, 9-year-old Maribel Capolon, daughter to Gidongo Law Courts Magistrate Caroline Kimei, who went missing on 6th of September 2018 and her decomposed body found 3 days later in Gitoro Forest. With this series of events happening, losing 6 people over suicide and murder cases in less than a month is so traumatizing to people and a country at large. But why does these extremes happen? What triggers one to commit such heinous acts? What are we doing as a country to help create awareness to the public on the evils of suicide? Mental health disorders, particularly depression and substance abuse, are among the highest associated factors leading to 90% cases of suicide, categorized as the second leading cause of death globally. Dr. Eunice takes us through what causes and how to spot a depressed person.
Not see some of the symptoms,
Young people tend to take little things very personal: low self-esteem, failure to achieve good grades in school, mood disorder as some of the factors that young people consider as a huge loss, and this might make them have suicidal thoughts. Dr. Eunice Karega, psychologist, tell us more.
But some of the symptoms are not seeable. You'll not be able to see them on the face, but you can tell this person, something about them has changed. And the kind of unhappiness that they're showing is kind of prolonged. It's kind of unrelenting. What has happened? 1 week, 2 weeks, somebody's not showing up. Somebody doesn't want to bathe or comb their hair, or they have cut out their hair, if it's a girl, and so on. So those are some of the signs that you look for.
Samuel Talam, Kenyatta University student, has been battling depression for a longer time. He came up with Amazing Minds Africa back in 2015 after his best friend committed suicide and felt there was need to educate the society on mental health awareness and stop the stigmatization.
Therapy, when people come, you feel like, yes, of course we have recommendations we would make. For example, don't judge someone who is suicidal.
According to World Health Organization, mental health is a state of well-being where people realize their potential and are able to cope effectively towards the challenges they are facing and work fruitfully, which is the opposite case of mental illness. With the world population shows Kenya has been ranked position 114 amongst the 175 countries with the highest suicide rates, with leading cases of suicidal thoughts such as depression, drug substance abuse, sexual assault, terminal illness, post-traumatic stress disorder, flashback, self-harm, effects of bullying, and financial crisis. Speaking about suicide in some countries like Kenya is a taboo in some tribes. Not speaking about the daily challenges we face as a people has largely contributed to people ending their lives, a topic that has stirred mixed reaction among people, while others seem to give it a deaf ear.
Young people are being involved in committing suicide as a result of maybe their background, relationship, or drugs. If somebody is from a very humble background, and they may be in dream more than even any member of our family has never achieved. Parents should not be more strict to their children. They should give them time. They should also help them to do what they want.
Trying to get an avenue to talk to is one of the things that most people struggle with. And if you go back to why people commit suicide and why the rates of suicidals are increasing day by day, you find that these people try to talk to a person. They try to find people to talk to, but they lack people to talk to.
Depression, poverty, and drug abuse are some of the factors contributing to people taking their own lives. This, as the World Health Organization shows that 4 people commit suicide every day in Kenya. Jamukiboi, KUTV.